Starting off the video with a little tip or trick. If you're here in the home menu and you maybe wondered how you play a private server where you can just test things, like test a helicopter or weapon damage or whatever it may be, go into Play and click Game Master Ireland, and that'll bring you into your own private Game Master server where you can do whatever you'd like. If you'd like to play the Game Master on Everon, go to Scenarios and at the very bottom, Game Master Everon. If you've played Arma Reforger for any period of time here on PS5, you've probably realized that the button binds are definitely not intended for console. So I'm here to help out and show you guys what I've personally been running and really liking as my button bind setup. I think that it's the most efficient and intuitive control scheme. How you bind is you click X on a button on a setting, and then you press the two buttons that you see on screen there. One thing to note is that if you just press your touchpad, it'll show up two touchpads like that. Notice how there's two touchpads? The one with the dots on it is the one you want. The one that's flat means that you accidentally activated the motion, or not motions detect. If you press the corner, though, of your touchpad, it won't do that. So press the corner of your touchpad and then circle. Moving on, perform action, all of these are default. Focus. I was not fond of the hold L2 to focus feature. It didn't feel right. I changed it to R1 so that you can focus independent of your aim. Free look. I've changed it to L1, so obviously my chat button is different. All of these are default. Now, radio selection, like I was saying, I had to change my radio because by default it's on L1, but my free look is on L1, so all of my radio and communication features are on R3. Moving on to equipment. Open inventory and quick slots are default. So unequip, hold triangle plus X, drop, hold triangle plus circle, on and on, right? Inspect, rotate. Slot 3, that's just how you pull out your pistol, and that is a default bind. Obviously, I prefer the hold aim down sight rather than the toggling aim down sight, so I've turned off toggle. If it even was on in the first place, this is an equipment, so I don't know. All of these I've put onto hold triangle in order to utilize them, so hold triangle and then hold down on D-pad in order to pull up binos, and similarly for other utilities. The only one I left the same is the flashlight, just so that it can be a little bit easier to use quickly. Moving to character. Movement, all of this is default. L3 to toggle sprint. All of this is default, default, default. Adjusting stance. Now this is where we get to some customized stuff. Hold L3 and then stance up and stance down. The logic behind it is that in every game that I've ever played, circle means crouch and X means stand up or jump. So stance up is X and stance down is circle. After that, leaning. Something that I love about my setup is that I can lean without aiming. I don't have to aim in order to lean. I can lean while hip firing, as you would in most PC games. Adjust leaning, similar to adjust stance, it's micro adjustments, right? It's not full lean. It is just tilting yourself slightly to the left, slightly more right, to whatever degree you would like. Down at the bottom here, gestures menu. I do believe this is default. And then point with finger continuously. Hold X and then hold up on D-pad. Moving on to vehicle. Accelerate and brake is the same. Steering is the same. Exit vehicle is where I've started changing. So from here onwards is binds that have been changed. Exit and eject are both on the left D-pad. Open and closing doors is on hold triangle plus up. Turnout / button up is on hold triangle plus hold left on D-pad. Handbrake is on L3. Engine is on the down D-pad. Gear shifting, I used a system very similar to DayZ, where my gear shifting is on circle and X. My horn, hold triangle plus L3. Lights are on the default binds. Moving to helicopter, I've inverted my basic controls here. So my collective is on my right stick, as is my anti-torque, and then all my cyclic is on my left stick. Wheel brakes, similar to handbrake, is on L3. Engine controls are on down D-pad. Auto hover is on hold triangle plus L3. And lights are on the top D-pad. Weapon, fire and throw, default. Melee attack, because my R3 is being used for something else, I had to rebind melee, so I decided to do hold triangle plus R2. Switch weapon, fire modes, grenade launcher, reload, repin, all of these are default. I do believe, I mean you can look, but I do believe that these are default. Weapon safety, something that doesn't get used very often, and the default bind is hard to reach. Lower weapon, now this is one that I don't see a lot of people using. I don't think that it's even bound by default, but I don't know. And I implore players to use it because nobody likes having a gun shoved down their throat. Raise weapon, you just press L2 and then you raise it back up to your shoulder. Low ready, which is this stance right here where the weapon is not necessarily pointed down range, but also not down. It's in a lowered, slightly lowered stance. That is low ready. Some weapons have large optics, and low ready allows you to lower that weapon out of your peripheral vision in order to get that optic out of your face. Rest weapon, down on D-pad. Kind of intuitive. Bipod, left on D-pad. I've turned off toggling aim down sights because I'm not fond of it, so I use hold. Do be aware that there is a massive dead zone on the aiming, so you have to hold down L2 all the way. 100%. Like, yeah, it has to be flush to the back wall in order for you to aim. If you let go of it more than like 10%, you stop aiming. And if you want to, you can still use the toggle aim down sight if you're more familiar with it, if you prefer it. Sight range while aiming, up and down on D-pad. Zooming in is triangle plus up and down on D-pad. Weapon illumination. Some Russian optics have internal illumination for the reticle. And then switch weapon optics. Lastly, the last three, these ones are very fast, very simple. All of this is default. The only thing that I've changed in turret controls is next weapon, and I've turned off toggle. In camera, similarly, I think the only thing I've changed is rotation multiplier or modifier, and it just allows you to turn faster. And then lastly, game master. I've changed the ping button, so touchpad plus R1. And then take temporary control of AI. That is how you say this rifleman, if I want to become him, press touchpad and then L1, and I take his place. And then I do believe that's it, but I will scroll through just in case I have changed other things, if you want to look. I don't think any of these are bound. Yep. And that's it. These are the button binds that have worked for me for upwards of 50 hours now. I've changed my binds 2 or 3 times, but these are the ones that I've been running probably for the longest now, and they are effective, they're quick, they're intuitive, and personally I really like them and prefer them greatly over the default binds. Hopefully somebody somewhere got use of this. And, yeah, I hope whoever's watching this has a wonderful day, night, whatever it may happen to be. And I'll catch you when I never upload ever again. Bye-bye.